How you going everyone? Corey Baker here. Welcome to Jurassic June. This month is Jurassic June, and if you didn't know what that is, it's a whole month we can celebrate how awesome dinosaurs truly are. So it's a month for dinosaurs and dinosaur fans alike. This year is going to be my very first year taking part of Jurassic June. This is the third year of Jurassic June, by the way, so it's only a really new kind of thing. But it's kind of like May the 4th for Star Wars, but for dinosaurs. For the very first week of Jurassic June, I'm going to tell you guys my top 10 favourite dinosaur species and why I like them and what dinosaurs they are. So let's get right into it. First dinosaur of the list, at number 10, we've got Parasaurolophus. Parasaurolophus lived in the late Cretaceous period of North America. Why I like Parasaurolophus is that beautiful crest on its head. It's always looked like a very beautiful dinosaur to me. It can walk on two legs and it can walk on the four legs. So it's always looked really nice, and it's just like a very beautiful prehistoric creature to me. So that's why Parasaurolophus is number 10 on my dinosaur list. Number 9, Spinosaurus. Spinosaurus. He lived around the middle of the Cretaceous period in Africa. He's often remembered and thought of as the dream crusher of Jurassic Park 3 for when he ripped off the Tyrannosaurus's head and cracked his neck. So he crushed everyone's dream in Jurassic Park 3. But you know what? I'm not here to talk about that. I'm going to talk about how awesome Spinosaurus actually is. And when you look at him, he's just such a unique dinosaur. He's got the massive spine on his back, and that's basically how he got his name, Spinosaurus. And he's usually thought to be an aquatic predator, so he's not so much a hunting on land. He's more hunting in the water, going after aquatic creatures, and that's how he gets his food. And not only that, recent information on Spinosaurus suggests that he actually walked on four legs and he wasn't bipedal, so he didn't walk on two legs. So he's more like a crocodile kind of guy. So, and yeah, basically, Spinosaurus is just such a unique creature, and that's why I love Spinosaurus. He's just a very unique carnivorous dinosaur, and not only that, but it's thought that Spinosaurus could actually be the biggest carnivorous dinosaur to ever walk the earth, which is amazing to think about. So that's why I love Spinosaurus. Number 8 on my favourite dinosaur list, Dilophosaurus. Dilophosaurus. He lived in the early Jurassic period 193 million years ago, and he might have just been the biggest carnivorous dinosaur of that time. So that's pretty cool to think. I've always liked Dilophosaurus for his two crests on his head, and that's a really cool thing that Dilophosaurus has. Now, Dilophosaurus is also very famous from Jurassic Park. But in Jurassic Park, they've depicted him of having a frill and spitting venom, which wasn't how it was. So Dilophosaurus didn't have a frill or spit venom, but that's something Steven Spielberg and creators of Jurassic Park kind of thought would be awesome in the movie, and it was. I actually really love how Dilophosaurus can spit and has a frill in Jurassic Park, but the real life Dilophosaurus didn't have those features. I love Dilophosaurus for his two crests and just the way he looks. Coming in at number 7, Brachiosaurus. Brachiosaurus lived in the Jurassic period, and he is my favourite sauropod of all time. This is because of that beautiful scene in Jurassic Park where they first see the Brachiosaurus, and it's actually the first dinosaur they see when they get on the island, their visitors. They see the Brachiosaurus come behind the trees and walk up and eat some leaves from the tree with that beautiful Jurassic Park theme song. It's just such a beautiful scene, and that's why I love Brachiosaurus, because of that scene. And basically, I just like the look of him too. He's like my favourite sauropod. Yeah, so Brachiosaurus. At number 6, we've got Allosaurus. Alright, Allosaurus lived in the late Jurassic period. He's pretty much the biggest carnivorous dinosaur to ever walk and live in the Jurassic period too. And to me, he's always felt like the king of the Jurassic. So that's pretty cool. And when I was younger, I watched the spin-off documentary of Walking with Dinosaurs called The Ballad of Big Al. And in The Ballad of Big Al is where they follow the life of an Allosaurus called Big Al. And it's really, really cool documentary. So if you haven't seen it, I strongly recommend you do. And that's a really cool documentary. And Allosaurus is just pretty much a really cool predatory dinosaur, which looks awesome. And he's just the king of the Jurassic. What more can I say? Allosaurus. Number 5, Deinonychus. So you're probably wondering, why do I just call Velociraptor Deinonychus? That's because the Velociraptors in the Jurassic Park franchise are kind of based on Deinonychus. The actual Velociraptor in the fossil record were smaller raptors with feathers and the size of a turkey. So Deinonychus is what I think best resembles the raptors in Jurassic Park. It could also be Utahraptor, which resembles them most, but to me, Deinonychus is my favourite dromaeosaur, which is the family Deinonychus belongs to. They all have the same awesome features that we know and love from the films. The sickle claw, the big long fingers and the big long forearms, the awesome fierce face, but in real life, strong evidence suggests that they all had feathers. Deinonychus comes in at number 5 on my favourite dinosaur list. Number 4, Kentrosaurus. Alright guys, now we've come to a very exciting part of my top 10 favourite dinosaurs list. This is where I want to share some love to some of the less famous dinosaurs out there. So this is Kentrosaurus. This is my 4th favourite dinosaur, and he comes from the same family as Stegosaurus. Now Stegosaurus was a lot more famous dinosaur than Kentrosaurus, and don't get me wrong, Stegosaurus is a very awesome dinosaur, but what I love about Kentrosaurus are those 2 shoulder spikes there. Can you see them? They look so awesome, don't they? The plates on Kentrosaurus's back kind of go from plates to spikes when it goes towards the tail. So to me, Kentrosaurus is, I just love Kentrosaurus a little bit more than Stegosaurus just because it looks so unique and awesome. Now Kentrosaurus also lived in the Jurassic period just like Stegosaurus, and Kentrosaurus was a little bit smaller than Stegosaurus, so Stegosaurus is a lot more bigger than Kentrosaurus, but to me I love Kentrosaurus just because it's just such a unique stegosaurid kind of looking dinosaur. Coming in at number 3 we have Carnotaurus. So Carnotaurus is a very unique looking carnivore. He lived in the late Cretaceous, but he's got a very small mouth, considering like you see the big mouth from T-Rex and some of the other Cretaceous predators. And the very cool thing about Carnotaurus, and that's how he gets his name, is those 2 head spikes he's got on his head. So Carnotaurus, Taurus meaning bull. So that's carnivorous bull is what his name means. So very cool looking dinosaur. Another thing about Carnotaurus, in Disney's movie Dinosaur, which came out in the year 2000, Carnotaurus had a starring role as the lead carnivore of the movie. And so it's a very cool dinosaur in my opinion, and a very, very unique dinosaur again. So I'm really into my unique looking dinosaurs and what makes them special. Carnotaurus had very tiny arms as well, just like T-Rex did. Except, Carnotaurus is a lot smaller, and he's got a very small, weird looking mouth, very snub-nosed mouth, and those awesome 2 head spikes as well. So that's why I love Carnotaurus. He's just such a unique carnivore of the late Cretaceous period. Coming in at number 2, we have Styracosaurus. So I know what you're probably thinking. Corey, how about Triceratops? Yeah, I love Triceratops too, but I've always liked Styracosaurus a little bit more than Triceratops, probably because Styracosaurus just has such an awesome display on his head. So he's got the big nose horn at the front, just like Triceratops, but unlike Triceratops, he's got heaps of spikes coming around his frill, and he just looks, his display where he looks straight at you looks awesome. I've always liked just how Styracosaurus looks. I've just always thought it looked a little bit, the display that it gives off on his crest, on his frill, you know. He just always looked a little bit better than Triceratops. And he's smaller than Triceratops, less famous than Triceratops. To me, I've always thought he's a very unique ceratopsian dinosaur, which I've always been very fascinated by. And I've always loved just what he looks like. So that's why I love Styracosaurus, and he comes in at number 2. Now, before we get to number 1, I have to mention a very special dinosaur to me, and that is Coryphosaurus. Like, when I was younger, I was getting into dinosaurs, and I loved dinosaurs so much, and then I discovered I had my very own dinosaur, Coryphosaurus. It actually has my name in its name, and I've always loved Coryphosaurus because of that. I've always felt like it was my dinosaur because my name was in it, but just the way things go. Coryphosaurus is a hadrosaur, lived in the Cretaceous period, and it was in Jurassic Park 3 as well, actually, which is pretty cool. So Coryphosaurus is a very special dinosaur to me, but doesn't really quite get into my favourite dinosaur list, but I had to mention it because of that. It was just like my dinosaur because it's got the same name as me. So, Coryphosaurus. Yep, you guessed it. Tyrannosaurus Rex is my most favourite dinosaur of all time. The Tyrant King himself. Now I know it's pretty cliche for everyone to have Tyrannosaurus as their favourite dinosaur, but it's for good reason. Tyrannosaurus lived in the late Cretaceous period, and he was one of the very last dinosaurs to ever live on the Earth when the meteor hit and wiped all the dinosaurs out 65 million years ago. Tyrannosaurus Rex was the hero of the Jurassic Park franchise. He's the star of Jurassic Park and the Lost World, and at Jurassic World he comes in at the end, and it's pretty much the best part of Jurassic World when the T-Rex shows up. Everyone loves the T-Rex in Jurassic Park movies. And not only that, but T-Rex had the biggest bite force of any living creature ever to live on Earth. Just let that sink in, ever. And that force was 5,000 kilograms per square inch. That's 5 tons of force going down when he crunches his jaws. When he closes his jaws, 5 ton. That's just mind-boggling when you think about it. That's just crazy. And that's why I love Tyrannosaurus. I know he's the most famous dinosaur, and he's a lot of people's favourite dinosaur, but that's just because he's just so awesome. So, Tyrannosaurus Rex is my most favourite dinosaur of all time. So there you have it, guys. These dinosaurs are my top 10 favourite dinosaurs of all time. If you agree with the dinosaurs I chose as my favourites, let me know in the comments. And even if you disagree and I left out some important dinosaurs, let me know in the comments too. I'd love to hear from you. I'll be back next week with another Jurassic June dinosaur themed video for you guys to enjoy. But in the meantime, there is an official Jurassic June mobile game out called Jurassic Jump. It's a really cool little dinosaur platforming game for your mobile phone. It's available for both Android and Apple, and it's completely free. So guys, there's no better time to start playing than this Jurassic June. It's really cool, it's really fun, and you'll enjoy it. And I'll be back next week with another Jurassic June video. So, like, comment, subscribe. I love it all, and I'll catch you next time. Bye. Yeah.